So welcome to the Fair Film Podcast. Today we have Eliana.
Thank you. What's up?
It's a pleasure to have you on. You want to introduce yourself just in case some people don't know you?
Oh yeah. Okay. So my name is Eliana Ghen. I am known for You're the Blue Line on TikTok. I'm an actress. I'm an actress, filmmaker, producer, but my focus is in acting. Insatiable on Netflix, and I did Purge of Kingdoms on Amazon. I've done a few Amazon movies, and now just working with my company and working to be constantly working more.
So I just want to start off this question. So when was the moment that you realized you wanted to be an actor?
The moment I like always think about this, and I was like, when was the moment? I remember being in Belize because my parents were doctors. I was in Belize and I was walking down this hallway and I was thinking about Harry Potter because Harry Potter is a magical world. And I was like, oh, I really would love to be in that world. Well, the world isn't like that, but I could be in that world if I'm an actor. And then I was walking down this hallway. I was like, I'm going to be an actor. And then from there on, that was my thing. That's how it happened with Harry Potter.
Yeah, a big Harry Potter fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Read the books, watched the movies.
Oh yeah, I didn't read the books. I'm actually really bad at reading, but I watched the movies.
Yeah, the movies are good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what is your process of training yourself, get yourself into that role?
There's a lot of things. I think that I don't have a set process. I don't have it like A equals B equals C equals D. It's kind of like Z, W, G, Y, X on this project and F, W, it's very different. So sometimes I always start with that's the same thing that I do is I always start with reading the script. I read the script a few times. My first initial time is my initial instincts with how everything's going to go, what it's about. And usually within the first read, I can get, oh, this is what it's about. What's underlying this. This is what they want. This is what blah, blah. And then I start looking at the given circumstances of what's happening in the scene. So I start looking at, well, what's given? What's a fact? What's something that cannot move? That's just there. And so I start looking at that. And then eventually after I go through this a bunch of times and just really digest the script, then I start thinking, oh, well, what else is here that's not being said? What's in between the lines? What's the thinking in between? Because acting is not what's happening on the lines usually. The best acting is in between the lines. Quiet moments when you really can tell people. And sometimes I can work, if something's a cold read and I get only a few minutes to work on it, then, I have limited time. I'm like, okay, well, let's just do this based on my instincts. But if I have more time, then it could be fun. It could be creative and I could do different things. That answers your question.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. So what are some benefits of having an agent?
Oh, yeah. Agent's important if you want to get big auditions because there is times where things will have open calls or there'll be very specific need to have an open call from these huge companies, but usually these companies have relationships with agents and it's very, very, very hard for you to be that one in a million person that's going to get the job from an open call, because you do an open call, hundreds and somebody's going to get the job, but the chance of you getting the job is it's like the difference between going in a coffee shop that's so popular with the line down the road or going in the back door because an agent has your hand. It's like, oh, we go through the back door. I know them, right? You only got 5 people in there. Much easier to be successful.
So what are your favorite movies and TV shows?
Oh, I love Stranger Things.
Yes.
Oh my God. Stranger Things is one of my most favorite TV shows. I don't know why, because I guess it keeps me on edge. It's in the world of magic. The story's great. The acting's great. And then the great movies, back in the old days of Sophie's Choice and, all these old, really Casablanca, these really good old movies that I think we kind of take for granted. I also love The Life of Pi. Is that what it's called? The Life of Pi?
Yeah,
that movie changed my perspective for the rest of my life. It really did. And then the show that I'm watching right now is called Raised by Wolves. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah.
Oh, so good, Ridley.
Yeah, it is good.
Oh my God, I'm dying watching it, and my husband's he's like, this is very slow, and I'm like, no, you just gotta hold off for the payoff. It's gonna be a payoff because it's Ridley Scott. Just hold on, right?
Yeah.
And I love how Ridley Scott makes his trailers you don't know what the heck you're gonna watch. You just know it's interesting. Because I hate when movies decide to give you the whole movie in the trailer. I'm like, no, don't do that. I want to discover it. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, definitely. That's why I know I love his with that,
Yeah.
as trailers, because a lot of movies, like, a lot of movies just give up their film. It's like, oh, you just give up half of the
Yeah.
film.
I'm like, what the heck am I gonna why am I gonna pay $20? I just got it for free.
Yeah.
What the heck are you doing? And I'm just like, why aren't these huge films being creative enough to be like, oh, here's a little taste. Like what Ridley Scott does. You have no idea what you're about to watch.
Mhm.
You just know it's exciting. You just see things going and going. And you're like, I don't know what this is. But those trailers are really successful. That's why Alien was so successful back in the day.
No, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So what are some difficult of like the acting business in your opinion?
Getting the no's, I think. There's so much rejection. Like, do you know how many times I've auditioned? I've auditioned like thousands of times, and I've gotten maybe 100 of them, maybe 200 of them, right? Out of thousands over my lifetime. Over my lifetime, I've gone through so many, and it sucks. It really, like, you pour your heart and your soul out into every audition, thinking, oh, this one might be it, and then it's not, and it's not over and over and over again. You're like, and then you start thinking, well, what's wrong with me? Why aren't like, is there something wrong with me? Am I not good enough? Like, all that comes into play. But then when you speak to your agents, and your agents are like, it's not your acting. It's not your acting. There's like, there's 30 other girls that are good. It comes down to your relationships. It comes down to whatever it is. And that's why I decided to work on my social media, because I was like, at least if I have this many people following them on social media, I have a leg up. Because if there's 10 girls that are great, and you got to pick, okay, which girl am I going to use? Am I going to pick the girl? They're both all great. Am I going to pick the girl that has 5 followers on social media? Am I going to pick the girl that has 2.7 million followers? I'm going with the girl with 2.7 million followers, because guess what? Her followers are going to watch my film, right? Maybe not 2.7 million of them, but a good portion of them. I had so many people say, oh, since I joined TikTok, you know how many people I've had reach out to me saying, I watched Insatiable just to see you for 2 seconds, right? Like, I'm not even a huge part in Insatiable. I'm an important part in Insatiable, but I'm not a huge part in Insatiable. I had so many people be like, I went to see it.
That's awesome.
That's the point, is like, that's the hard part about the acting. It's like, you can't wait for somebody to give you the job on a platter, because you'll never get the job on a platter. Because even the people that get the jobs, you're lucky too. But why would you wait for something when you can create it like right now? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is the hardest role that you played and why?
The hardest role? Okay, you want to know the hardest role I've ever played? This is going to be funny. The hardest role I've ever played was a mermaid, okay? Because I thought, oh, I'm going to look beautiful. I'm going to dive into the water and I'm going to feel like a magical fish. Well, no, it was not like that. I was drowning, okay? I was swimming underwater, and I didn't know that, when you go a certain point underwater, there's a lot of pressure. So you have to clear your ears. And I was training in my pool. My pool is only 4 to 5 feet deep. Well, when I got on set to film this mermaid thing, the window was 8 feet down. So I had to swim past the point of where the pressure builds up. And I didn't know what the heck I was doing. So I'm trying to act. And every time I come up out of the water, and I'm like dying. And all of a sudden, like, I couldn't hear anything because my ears were just like exploding. And the person's like, the director's like, can we do it again? And the PA was like, she needs a minute. Can we just hold? And I'm like, we gotta wait. That is the hardest thing I've ever done.
Oh my God.
It was so hard. And then I was freezing. I was in the pool for like 12 plus hours. And then I came back another time and did it again. Oh, it was tough. It was tough.
It sounds like it.
Like, physically, oh my gosh. And it wasn't even a hard role, like, to do that. It was just physically. Now I know if I ever was a mermaid again, I'm going to go to hardcore mermaid training. Like, seriously, I'm going to go find a mermaid at Wikiwachi or something and tell them to train me. So
advice for new actors and pursuing it.
Yeah, so it links back to me saying, don't wait for the industry to find you. Find the industry. meaning grow your social media, make projects. What are you waiting for? Are you waiting for till you get old? You're waiting for someone to, like, I don't know, hand you something. It's not going to be as quickly as you want it to happen if you wait.
No, yeah, definitely. I agree to that. It's not gonna be like, oh, here's your feature film. It's like, oh, I gotta work for that. It's like that's why I make
Yeah.
short films, to build my experience and build and press it for my short films.
Yeah,
Like
because
on my feature.
when you're like done with school and you're out there, you already have like all this stuff behind your belt, right? Behind you. And it's like, I have no problem if somebody gets something and they didn't quote unquote earn it. I don't believe in that. I don't believe you earn or don't earn something. If you get something, it's meant for you. Whether it was easy for you, whether it was hard, I don't care. If you got it, it's yours. There's no such thing as, oh, I need to earn something. Because if you think I need to earn something, you're going to have it's going to be hard for you. Instead of just saying, oh, like this could be easy. I got to do this, and because anything could be easy, right? And life is more fun when it's easy and it's an exciting adventure. So I always say, like, let it be easy for you. Somebody hands you something, take it. Don't be like, I got to earn this. Because if someone hands it to you, you have earned it just by being whoever you are as a human, to allow it to come into your existence. If that makes any sense, I'm getting very.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, is there a career path you recommend? I know, like, there's a lot of paths you can go into film, but
Yeah.
is there any other film path, like career paths you recommend?
Path?
I know it's a tough question.
Yeah. I feel like there's so many in acting. I think the best path is the path you decide to walk on, because there's so, like, if you go down one path in acting, it's not just one path. It's not like you go to school to become a doctor, you get your whatever, and then you go to you get your doctorate, or then you have to go into whatever it's called. My dad's a doctor now, I can totally forgot what it's called, when you have to do rounds in hospitals and stuff, and be interns, whatever there is to do. It's not a set line. So if you're going down the path and the path leads you to the right, take it. Excuse me, don't ever think that you're at the end, because there is no end. There's just different ways to go. Just don't ever, this is the main thing, don't ever, ever, ever take a path that compromises your morality. I don't care if you believe, like you're okay with taking your top off, whatever, fine, good for you, do it. But if you have a morality that's like, I'll take my top off, but I won't take my bottoms off, and then you're like, you get to that path and then you're just like, well, you got to do both, then don't take that path. Just say no to that path, because at the end of the day, you're stuck with yourself, right? You're stuck with who you are, and you want to love who you are. So at the end of the day, do what you feel is right. And if you don't care about that stuff, go for it, do it. But there is certain things that I know that everybody has, like, an idea of what they will and they won't do. And you just got to be true to that. I don't care what it is. You just got to be true to yourself. That's it.
Oh yeah, definitely. So what are some, like, good resources, like, for actors you recommend?
I think you definitely should read I'm not a reader, so this is not really great advice for me. I'm really bad at reading, but I listen to audiobooks. So I think really great books, the Uta Hagen books. Bernard Hiller's book is just, he's a teacher that I study with. Stop Acting, something about Live Your Life, Stop Acting. But some Bernard Hiller's books are great. And then Larry Moss's books are really good. I think it's, I forgot the names, but Larry Moss's books are really good. And then also, like, resources, get on Actors Access, get on backstage.com, take classes. I think classes are so important, no matter how good you are, no matter how long you've been acting. I think how can you be an Olympian if you're not going to train, right? There's no Olympian in the world that I would ever go up to and be like, do you just, like, wing this? Do you just come here and wing this? Like, what are you kidding me? Do you know how much I train for this? Your acting is the same. You gotta train.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I know you also have your acting classes. I'll plan to join. I'll plan to make an appearance one day.
Please, that'd be so great.
No, yeah.
People talk. Yeah, I teach classes, but I don't even love to call myself a teacher. I like to call myself a coach, because I coach people to get to their true self. And usually, like, I don't even talk about acting too much. I really talk about the human psychology, consciousness. And we talk about that, because if you can get your life, you can get the acting. The acting is just a byproduct of how well you know yourself.
Yeah, definitely. So what is the best part about being an actor?
I think the best part about being an actor is the discovery of new things. You gotta be so present, number one, and you get to be so in touch with yourself, because you have to play all these different things, all these different parts of yourself. And sometimes people think, oh, I play many different people, but you forget that it's you. Like, I am you just as much as you're me, in a different, just because of circumstance. So I get to learn so many point of views that I'm actually learning about myself. And when you learn about yourself that much, you love yourself more and you love humanity more. And you're like, wow, like my life's really great that I'm able to be here and put something else in. So it's not like tell me if I'm not making sense, but it's almost, you get the experience of, you are not you. You're anything you say you are. So if you, in a moment, I say, I'm a girl that's really tough and I'm going to get what I want, then in that moment I get to be that. It's really fun.
Definitely. I do understand with that.
Yeah.
Especially like, you're being like a different person when you're acting. It's like, oh, that's not me. Like, this is me.
Yeah. If you get to be a different version of yourself that you think, wow, that's not me. But in reality, it's you. You're doing it. You're right. You're
it's like, is that me?
Is that me? And then you actually think to yourself, wow, that is me. That's me. Oh, what is that? You know what I mean?
Like, I never knew I could do that. Like,
exactly. Exactly. It challenges your existence, and it challenges just how you feel about yourself and people. It's really great. I think acting is for everyone. I think everyone should be an actor, even if you never want to be an actor, because it teaches you about humanity.
Oh yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. So what is your favorite role that you played?
Oh, my favorite role. Okay. So I wasn't hired to do this, but I went to Bernard Hiller's masterclass a couple of years ago in LA, and I was paired up with this guy. His name is Adrian Gaeta, and him and I just worked. I've never worked with somebody that well. Like, when I was in character, I was totally her. And it was almost like reality was almost an illusion to me when I was on stage with him, because our working chemistry was so good that I was like, oh my gosh, this is like beyond what I thought acting was, because we were so present together. We worked so well together, and it created something that the scene was different every time we did it. So it would end differently. And I was like so excited to see, how is it going to end today? So that was the most exciting thing that I ever did so far in my career. And every time I act, I want to even see what else is out there now after I experienced that with him.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So who inspires you?
Oh, Meryl Streep. Meryl Streep inspires. I watch her and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I have 1 ounce of that talent, Oh, she's amazing. I love her, so my whole life, if you've asked me that, it was always Meryl Streep, always, because she just has this ability to, it's almost like she doesn't lose herself, but she is herself. Like what I was talking about before, she's so herself in these other circumstances. Like, that's how I want to be. I want to be like that in those circumstances, that all these little gestures she does is just so good.
I'll have a couple questions left, and then I'll let you go.
All right.
Have a good time.
Yeah. No worries.
So any plans for you in the future, or anything that you can say right now?
Yeah. So right now I'm working on a sci-fi project, a proof of concept project, and it's a series, and it's going to be a short form series. So every episode is around like 6 to 10 minutes of footage. And I don't know where I'm going to release it yet, but that's what I'm working on right now. And the next step is to crowdfund or fund. I have some people that are interested in funding it so far. So I don't know if I'm going to crowdfund or if I'm just going to fund behind the scenes. And so that's fun. And then I also wrote a feature film that is really close to my heart, because it's a drama, and it's just like something that like the first feature film that I've ever created. So that's something down the road I would be doing too. And then also, like, I'm constantly working with sponsored deals on TikToks, and then I'm always auditioning. So we never know which one's going to hit.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely looking forward to, what you have coming out. I'll definitely, look at it.
Thank you.
Especially that, that sci-fi one I've been seeing, like, people audition, like, I can't wait to see that too.
Oh yeah, no. They're actually, I haven't had anybody audition for that one. I've had people audition for like a fun little thing that I'm doing for YouTube, which is called the Rogue Bride,
Hmm.
which is just fun, just to
Hmm.
do something to involve people. And I'm actually going to put it together today. Hopefully, I'll finish putting it together today on YouTube. So that should be fun.
That definitely always looking forward what you have coming out.
Thank you.
Welcome. So this will be the final question. So I know
Mhm.
we kind of answered this in the beginning, but do you have any questions you want to know like about me, or I kind of twisted it?
Yeah, where do you see yourself in like 5 years?
I see myself, being a director, like being like, doing feature films, and like
Mhm.
I could still continue my path doing my short films, learn off every short film, and then when I make my feature, that's where I'll know everything, have experience. So that's
Okay,
where my
good.
path is going.
Good. And you have a lot of relationships in this field yet? Or are you still kind of just working that out to
No, yeah, I
build?
have a lot of relationships in this field. Yeah,
Good. Good.
yeah,
Yeah, and like, start writing to producers and stuff. Famous producers. What's the worst thing gonna happen? They're not gonna
yeah.
respond?
No, yeah. It's
Like
always
what?
willing to try. You
You're
never
just
know.
willing to try. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna start writing to producers that I really love and admire. And just be like, look, I really love your work. And I'm just, you know, I would love to even like shadow them for a day. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely. So that's it for the podcast. I'd like to say thank you for your time and thank you so much for coming on. It was a pleasure and an honor to speak
Thank
with you.
you. I love being on here. Yeah, and if you guys want to check out my work, you can check it out on TikTok, either Eliana Ghen on TikTok or ELIANA_GHEN on Instagram. And then I got a YouTube and I just got a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, also I'll plug everything in the description for you. So
Okay, cool.
yeah, I'll
Oh,
be
great.
on there.